old to be dealing with this.
I complimented you.
Good morning, LBHT crew. Good morning, Rogue Nation. Good morning, good friends.
Apparently, it's not a good morning.
Yeah. Hey, look, did the Ravens rehire Harbaugh?
No.
It's a good morning.
Well, I mean, Giants fan. I don't know. Maybe.
Full patrol. Get ready for Daniel Falele.
Hey man, if he wants to give Harbaugh $20 million, why not just give Mike Tomlin $20 million?
He's not. That's a difficult situation because he stepped away.
Yeah, they still retain his rights. We have to trade for him. That's true.
Facts.
That's the only thing.
It doesn't have to be the John Gruden trade, like was it 2 first-round picks that Tampa gave up or whatever. It doesn't necessarily have to be that. And also the rumor, and this is rumors that he wants to coach someplace warm. And the thought is Miami. The talk is Miami has shown him a lot of interest since they messed it up the first time around. They're like, hey, sorry for being racist. What would you like this time around?
Yeah.
He's not too hip hop this time around.
Yeah, if you don't know that story,
he's soul music.
He was supposed to be Miami's the Dolphins head coach, and the GM at the time said that after his interview that he took away that he was too hip hop for their liking. Right. Whatever that means.
Oh man,
the only thing hip hop, close to hip hop that I've seen him reference with the Black Air Force Ones. That came from the RDC World skit.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, racists be innovative, man.
I'll tell you. Hey, let's get some good morning shout outs. Team Ramey, good morning. Salute to you. We got Carmelo Moody in the house. Salute. Grand Rising. Good morning to you. We got Bazel says first. Hey, yeah. Well, he's first on my channel. All right, there's 2 channels streaming right now. Lunch Break, Hot Take, Roll Pod. All right, and Good Friends, Better Rivals is another channel you need to subscribe to as well. 100%. A Light, good morning. Says good morning, brethren. Hey, salute to you. Dr. Kush, salute. Good morning. The latest member of the YouTube channel. Really appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot. Michael Akins. Good morning. Good morning. JR15. Good morning. We got Julian Otis says, morning, gentlemen. Appreciate y'all. We appreciate you, Julian.
Right. Especially stopping by early in the morning.
Yeah.
Much love.
Yeah. Co-Air Media. Salute. Good morning. Imani. Good morning. Good morning. Just Aloe. Good morning.
Listen, Just Aloe was up last night. He's up early this morning. He gonna sleep all weekend long.
Hey man, shout to him, man.
You know something good happened at one winning drive.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's like, what's so good about this morning?
He's like, I'm gonna drink that third apple juice and stay up.
Yeah, man.
Stay up. Exactly.
Mr. Black Ice, salute. Good morning. Cousin Davon, good morning. Good morning. We got Coach C. Good morning. Coach? Good morning, Coach. We got Grails. What's going on, Grails? Good morning to you.
Jose.
Dance fan. Good morning. What's up?
We got what his name means. It means it is what it is. IIWII. It is what it is.
What's the CT stand for?
Yeah, I don't know what the CT stands for. You gotta help us out there, dog.
All right, smart guy.
It stands for cut ties with John Harbaugh.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. There
yes,
you
it
go.
is. It is.
Good morning.
Cutting ties.
Good morning. Good morning. Follower of Christ. Good morning. Indeed. We got Terry Wood in the house. Good morning. Reese, good morning. Golden State 22. Good morning. Salute to you. All right.
Hey, let's go Warriors.
And listen to our Stream Elements bot. Says don't forget to like and subscribe. All right. Also hit up our Patreons. Patreon.com/ROUG. Patreon.com/LBHT show.
Patreon.com/LGR_network.
He was on it. Let's go.
Boom.
Let's go. What's up, AO phones?
By the way, Warriors won last night.
It is what it is. It says
Connecticut. He's from Connecticut.
Okay. I was gonna say that. Hey,
go Huskies!
Right. And shout out to Lunch Break Hot Take for hitting 3,000 subscribers.
Yeah, man.
Let's go.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Thank you.
You know there you go. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Ayo Fonz, good morning. Says I think Bisciotti fired Harbaugh over the phone, so he couldn't convince him to stay in person.
I can see that, and he alluded to something like that a little bit because he didn't.
Well, he said it was an emotion. It was very emotional for him, and Harbaugh had to console him, and tell him it was okay. It was like that Wesley Snipes meme from New Jack City.
Right.
Am I brother's keeper? Yes, I am.
Shouting from the outside.
He was like, listen, Steve, it's not you, it's me. I gotta go. It's okay. I'll take the hit on this one.
Yeah, and it should be tough. Of course, you're gonna develop a relationship with somebody that's working for you for 18 years. Of course, right? And it's a different type of business than the business that we do. The kind of work that we do. So yeah, it's gonna be a little emotional in terms of that. But like I said yesterday, it's also different in terms of you could be friends afterwards and have no hard feelings because the money that you've made and the money that you continue to make because it's either he's going to walk into another job or he gets paid another $17 million a year for the next 3 years, right? Because he had 3 years left on his deal, right? 3 years.
Yeah, that was extension.
So he's not on the streets, and so much so that Bisciotti said it in his press conference that he suggested to him to take a year off and just travel because he's paying for it anyway. Right. You can do that when you're worth billions of dollars, and you can have no hard feelings and have these conversations when you get fired when you're getting paid that kind of money anyway. If your job fired you and said, well, we're going to go ahead and continue to pay you for the next, if they said the next 3 months, you'd be like, oh, cool. Right.
Years.
If they said the next 3 years, you're like, yeah, no problem. We're good. I
haven't seen Japan. Go to Japan.
Right. Exactly. So,
and you know who did that? Cliff Kingsbury.
Yep.
That man got fired, and that man got fired and was like, you know what? I'm a millionaire. And shout out to John Harbaugh. Much respect for the fact that, from what Bisciotti said, he told him, he said, listen, you have nothing to be sorry for. You changed the course of my life. Like, without him, he wouldn't have been a head coach. He might not be a multi-millionaire if it weren't for him. And for him to have, that level of decency to try to ease the situation where you're being the one fired, I give him credit for that. Now, if he could have just took that to being the coach of the Ravens and showed that same humility, maybe we'd be having a different conversation.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Like that was the blind spot with Harbaugh here is his own ego when it came to the team and not being able to humble himself when he needed to kind of look at it and say, okay, we keep falling short, things aren't going right. What am I doing wrong? Like, what do I need to do? He kept on looking to his circle of friends and not wanting to look outside and get that outside perspective. Because even any workplace will do that, right? When you're looking to hire people, they don't always want to hire from within. They don't always want to promote from within. They want that outside perspective to kind of give you that look of things that you might be missing. Somebody that might be able to point out your blind spots that has a different experience, a different point of view than you normally would. And that just didn't happen here,
right?
And he wouldn't let it happen here. And even when it all went, like, this was the year for him to be like, all right, I need new coordinators and they can't be tied to me, right? Like, this would have been the time to say, okay, this offseason we need to go and get a Brian Flores since he's his contract is up. We need to go look at somebody else. Zach, I ain't gonna have you on the street. Go try to find a coordinator job. If not, come back and be a linebacker coach again or something like that. I'll give you a little bump in pay, but you can't be the coordinator. Like, you got to do something like that. Get a coordinator that calls the plays. Like that. I think that's really what Bisciotti was looking for at the end of the year when he did his interview with EDC and Ozzie and Sashi Brown. From what I gather, when they talked to him about that stuff, he didn't really budge on anything.
Right.
And I think that was the last straw. I think he was already deciding to fire him, but he just kind of wanted to hear. He didn't want. He wasn't at the meeting, but I think he kind of wanted to get that report that, hey, Harbaugh wants to make these changes or whatever, But I think he already knew Harbaugh wasn't going to do that. He was going to go down with the ship.
Yep.
Hey, what's going on, Delia?
Hey, what's up, Zeke? Julian, Tori,
SB Cam, Zeke Hokage. Hey, salute.
Appreciate y'all.
Who else is in here? Ja Wayne. Salute.
Hey.
Good morning. Says, I wish one of the reporters really asked more about EDC and his drafting and comp pick philosophy. We don't need 4 5th-round picks. Yeah. Package some and move up in a trade in general. That's been my thing the last couple of years. That's what's kind of upset me. It's like
quality over quantity.
Yeah. Hey, I bet this year it happens.
Oh man.
Listen. Jaway, I'm gonna be honest with you. Once he said we need to make a splash in free agency, I really didn't need to hear anything else. That I've never heard him say that before, ever. And that told me right there.
It's a little hot.
A change is coming.
A little hot.
So I don't need to hear it. I know he'll make some moves in the draft. I know he might trade the 1st-round pick.
Wouldn't that be something?
He might trade for a player. Just saying. I'm just saying, folks. It could happen.
Listen, we might go from 14th to 19th to acquire some more picks and then trade up and then trade back into the 1st round again to get somebody. I'm telling you, that man, when they asked that question about getting that bona fide star, he turned beet red about what? What are we talking about draft picks? This is supposed to go with John Harbaugh. Like he was just literally shocked, like, I don't want to set the franchise back. We got to do something. And it's sad that for an organization that's supposed to be as well respected as we are relying upon comp picks. So instead of going out and signing the guys that we need to sign, we wait until the compensatory formula kicks in, and then we can sign the 3rd and 4th tier players just so we can get a 5th or 6th round extra. What are they going to do for this team? Like, and to me, that's where I think that Eric DeCosta's failed this team. You're waiting around for comp picks that generally under him have not worked out. Ozzie, he got a few hits. EDC, 1 maybe, but that does not complete your roster. That 6th-round guy isn't going to come in and compete for a starting job or give you that depth that we need, because we saw this season when people start going down, the depth was not there. And we cut a lot of those 5th and 6th rounders from years past. So what's the point of waiting around and getting them? So like you said, this year, I think when free agency opens up, like it's going to be 11:59 and 58 seconds, and your boy going to be sitting there with his pen like, all right, call him. Yeah. It's a go. This is the year for us.
Yeah, man. It also shows the she's like they don't know how to do their job, right? Because we always talk about GMs knowing how to do their job. I always bring up the Rams. They didn't have a 1st-round pick for like 3 years in a row, and they still 8 years in a row, 10, 12, I don't know, a lot. It was I know I was making a joke. I know it's called hyperbole. But they rebuilt their defense. All right, you know what? How about you zip it? Okay. All right. They rebuilt their defense on 3rd and 4th and 5th rounders. Their entire defensive line, none of them were 1st-round picks. 0. So that means you can't locate talent and you don't know how to do your job. And that's what a GM is supposed to do. You're supposed to find that diamond in the 4th or that guy that everyone's like, he's not that good, but you find him in the 5th. It's like, like you can, make fun of Mike Mayock all you want for the Cleveland Farrell pick. We all do. But in that same draft in the 5th round, he said, I'm going to draft this random defensive end from Eastern Michigan. And look where that random defensive end is now. He's probably going to be a Baltimore Raven. He's Max Crosby, by the way. It's Max Crosby. There you go. He's probably the greatest player ever to come out of Eastern Michigan.
Listen, I know everybody's high on Max Crosby. And look, with the new coaching staff, it could, it could work out a lot better. But again, if I'm trying to make a big splash, that it needs to be on offense, right? The offensive line is looking like we can easily fix that through free agency. That's something that I expect them to target, and that should be fairly easy to get some good solid guard play there, and that helps. I either would like to see them still draft a tackle, because I don't want people complaining about Ronnie Stanley if you don't want them to really try to go and replace Ronnie Stanley, right? So that needs to be a priority, or trade that pick for a wide receiver, an established wide receiver. Okay, we already told y'all the list. Okay, Justin Jefferson is number one. That's number one on my list to go and see if you can get that done. I really believe you can get that done.
Your boy's trying to screw that up. No. Your boy trying to mess that up. Jordan Addison. He just can't stay out of trouble. Like he trying to mess that up for us.
But hey, take that 14th, that 14th pick and draft the next one.
Get somebody else, right?
They can I know you guys are wondering, well, why can't we draft that guy? Because we don't draft well. Draft the go and get somebody established. Let them go draft the next Justin Jefferson or Jordan Addison, and it's a win-win, right? I know you guys said AJ Brown. I mean, I like AJ Brown still. I don't know how much you guys like him after all them drop seeds he had in the playoffs.
Pickens is a free agent.
Pickens
is a free agent.
Pickens is a free agent. I don't know what the Cowboys are going to do. That's an interesting situation to monitor because they already have CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb didn't have his best year. I don't know. Some think that Pickens might be in and CeeDee Lamb might be available for a trade. I'll take that too. But there's options there. That's why I want to look. But look, I get the excitement about Max Crosby, but me and B say this every year. We look at what goes on in the regular season. We say, man, we need O-line. Man, we need more weapons. We need this. We need this. And then when we get to the offseason, it's let's get this edge rusher. I don't want an edge rusher. We already have edge rushers on the team. You guys are already out on Mike Green like that. You're out on Mike Green.
You guys had Adafe Owe who had 2 sacks in that playoff game a couple days ago. Y'all got rid of him. So
we needed the 12 safety.
Yeah, you needed the 12. You need that 12 safety. By the way, also too, speaking of free agency, Jose, and you want to see a team that fixed their offensive line in free agency? The Chicago Bears. 3 of their starters all weren't on the team last year. Drew Dahlman was in Atlanta. Jonah Jackson was in the Rams, and they traded for Joe Thuney. And look where the Chicago Bears are. They're fighting for a spot in the NFC Championship game. Right there. They fixed it just like that.
When you look at the progression of Caleb Williams with protection and a play caller.
Yeah.
John Wayne says you can. Coach says 3 sacks.
3. I think it was 3.
3. Well,
which makes it worse.
It makes it worse.
John Wayne says you can get AJ Brown for a 4th or a 3rd round pick. I don't think so.
Not second.
I don't think so.
Second.
I trade up if Bain is available or draft Fano or Magino.
Muagal, Francis Muagal, the right tackle out of Miami. Yeah. He's not. Yeah, that Miami offensive line has like four NFL linemen.
I know Utah's got like 2 tackles that could probably go in the first
Caleb
round.
Lamu and Spencer Fano. Spencer's the better one. People like Caleb, but people prefer Spencer over him.
Yeah.
I just want to say, I love Ravens fans. I love Ravens fans. And this is not even against you, Joanne. Like, I love Ravens fans. They like, yeah, we can go get AJ Brown for a 3rd or a 4th, but yet still people will say we could trade Tyler Huntley for a 2nd or get a 1st round for Mark Andrews. No. You can't make this up. You can't make this up.
Hey man, you know what, man? You know what? If Howie Roseman can get Kevin Byard for a 4th and a bag of chips, why not trade a 3rd for AJ Brown? They may agree.
Because Kevin Byard was at the end of his career.
Yes.
And they let him go, because he wasn't as good as he used to be. And AJ Brown is in the prime of his career. That's why.
Yeah. First of all, I'm not 100% sold on the thought that they're going to give up AJ Brown. People think that they're going to trade AJ Brown because he gets into it with his head coach on the sideline. Their Super Bowl window is still open, right? The changes that are going to be made are going to be to the offensive coordinator and probably the defensive coordinator.
They already got
him. Yeah. So that's the change they're going to make.
Defensive coordinator is pretty cool. I think it's just the offensive coordinator that needs to go.
Yeah, that's the biggest talk right there is offensive coordinator. But that they're still trying to win Super Bowls, and they will put up with that minor headache. Those little blowups they have every now and then, as long as he's performing. He didn't perform well in that game, right? I'm sure they're going to talk to him about that. But are they going to be out on him over one game? I don't know. Maybe they look at it and say, well, okay, we can get if they see a better option, yes, they can go and get George Pickens, right? They might say, okay, well, he's available. We'll just sign him and then we'll trade AJ Brown. Like, yes, that could happen. But if that doesn't happen, they'll bring AJ Brown right back and they'll just deal with them. The only time they're gonna really move on from him is when they see their window starting to close a little bit, and then they're like, okay, it's not really worth keeping him around anymore.
So, yeah, or he gets on the other side of 30, and a receiver like him
Hey,
he's on the other side of
JR.
30. Hey, shout out to you, JR.
For being a new member. Appreciate that.
It.
And if he's on the other side of 30, receivers like him tend to lose, their value. Those big body receivers that they become slower and they're easier to guard. You just need another big cornerback to stop them, but he's not there yet.
Yeah.
His thing was, I dropped the ball because I'm cold because you're not throwing me the ball all day. And then when you're like, big third down, I need you to catch this. I'm cold. And I was like, yeah, I get that, but bro, you still need to catch that. You're wide open.
Who's a downgrade? He said he's not coming to the Ravens. That's a downgrade in my opinion anyway. Which player? We said a few players. I'm not sure.
Brown, dude, you guys wish you would have either one of them. Let's calm down here. All right. You wish.
Yeah.
I like Zay Flowers, but outside of him.
Wait a minute. You don't know who that he's talking about that.
Okay.
Right. That's why I say I don't know who you're talking about. I'm not sure which player you mean. But yeah, if you're talking about those players, I would trade everybody we have for either one of those receivers.
I'm pretty sure it's those two, because who else have we been talking about?
I'm trying to get the benefit of the
Max Crosby.
Nah, man. We someone brought up Justin Jefferson, AJ Brown, and Jordan Pickens. Those are the guys we've been talking about. So
I mean, it's a downgrade from who?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Those three guys would be your receiver one, guaranteed.
Bucko Beasy says send Bateman to Minnesota with that 14th overall pick and a fourth for Jettas. Okay.
Send
First, fourth,
Bateman
and Bateman for and B thinks, hey, Bucko B thinks that it may not even take that much. Because
if Minnesota,
he looked at like some of the past trades for wide receivers. Like he said, yeah, probably your first round pick, or a second round pick, a second, fourth, and a couple later round picks, might get the deal done. He said you don't necessarily have to give up a first and more picks. So it all depends on the willingness for the team to move a wide receiver. If they don't really have any plans to move them, you might have to wow them with a pick. But if they're thinking, yeah, it might be time to move on from them, get them on a team that has a chance to win while we're still stuck in this phase, they might, they'll be willing to take something a little bit lower, Hey, what's up, Sterling? What's going on?
He's alive.
I just hopped in. What do you think of Mike Tomlin coming to the Ravens?
Not gonna happen.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I like Mike Tomlin. If he said I'm interested, listen, a lot of candidates automatically get disqualified. You still might interview a couple, but Mike Tomlin is at the top of my list. Okay, I will love it. Now we got to talk about his offensive coordinator. Okay, we're gonna have to, Mike. We love you and we respect you. You're a Super Bowl champion as well, but we got to talk about the offensive coordinator position. You can't just bring in just anybody. If he's opening that,
Todd Haley, Matt Canada, the last good one was Bruce Arians.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not been good.
Yeah. Hey, so where did that guy go? I asked, what do you mean by downgrade? Frank, what's the downgrade? I know you didn't leave. I know you didn't drop a troll comment and just head out. I know you didn't just do that.
You didn't. Okay. You didn't just chat and split.
Well, Dr. Kush, that's a solid shout. I like Drake London. The problem is with him,
they're not letting him go
because he's
not even his prime yet.
Yeah, he's still pretty good. He's all 4 years at least 800 yards. And his touchdowns increased. Well, they decreased in year 2, but then they went from 4, 2, 9, 7. The reason he got 7 this year is that he missed 5 games. He only played 12 games this year, which netted him 919 yards. But the year prior, he had 1271 with 9 touchdowns, and he had 100 catches. So he was ascending. Then this year he got a little injury bug. And he's pretty good, man. Why, if you don't like Atlanta, I know a lot of people don't know about them because who watches Atlanta Falcons football? And if you do, you just focus on the running back. But Drake London, pretty good.
You haven't seen the best of Drake London yet. I don't think they're going to get rid of him this early. For what? Right? Like they're a young team. They're building up.
And they have that core. Like you got to keep them together. Him, Bijan, maybe Kyle Pitts.
Oh, still out the country.
Oh,
okay, nice. Hope you enjoyed.
All right.
Glad you made it back safely. Jermaine says, I'm so glad we're done with Orr, Warhop, and the overrated Dr. Rush. Hey, man.
See, that's my thing, right? Let's say the Giants do hire John Harbaugh. You know, I'll accept it. I won't like it, but I'll accept it because they did it. If they don't keep Carmen Bricillo, then I'll have an issue. Because Carmen Bricillo fixed this offensive line. It went from being terrible to we're good. We're fine. We're okay. You know, because he had to because he's dealing.
You talking about for the Giants?
The Giants, yeah, he fixed the offensive line. It became one of the best units of the group. It used to be the worst unit of the group, and then he fixed it. And if he brings that guy with him, I will create words to insult this regime.
I'm going to ask the question. By the way, it's almost 200 people in here. Hit that like button if you're new. Hit the subscribe button. Lunch Break, Hot Take, Broke Pod. These are the two channels that are live right now. So make sure you subscribe on both. And also, Good Friends, Better Rivals. Good Friends, Better Rivals. Make sure you subscribe to that channel as well. You guys know Ferris. You know he knows his sports. So he does. Go subscribe over there.
Indianapolis won't get rid of Pittman either because Pittman's their number one, and they want to run back with, I guess, Daniel Jones.
So I'm wondering. So I'm just watching. I'm just watching to see the John Harbaugh sweepstakes to see where he ends up, and I want to know. I want to know who he brings with him, right? Because allegedly he's making these demands. You know, he wants $20 million. Okay, fine. He wants to be able to handpick his GM. You know, he wants certain things. Now, B did point out that maybe that was just a demand for Cleveland. But
that's true because he's okay with working with Joe Schoen. Joe Schoen's actually pursuing him as well.
Yeah, so but but I want to know is he bringing his staff with him? Is he bringing Zach Orr with him? Is he bringing George Warhop? Is he bringing Tom Monken? Because reportedly he was fighting to keep Tom Monken, and that's why he got fired, right? Because everybody hated him and he loved him, and he wanted to bring him. Or is he going to bring Greg Roman back? Greg Roman got fired. So these are things I want to know, because if he does, Ferris will be pissed. Ferris will be pissed, right? But if he doesn't, I want to know, why were you going to run it back when you thought your job was safe here, when you had your legs kicked up on the desk, right? Why was it okay to bring back all those guys that did a terrible job this year, but you don't want to bring them to your next job? Because any job that you go to, you can bring whoever you want. Nobody's going to tell John Harbaugh no. These teams that are pursuing him. So why, if they don't come back, why not? That's all I want to know. But if they come back, okay, you're a man of your word. You like your guys. All right, cool. Good luck to you. But if you don't,
interesting one.
Seeing Greg Roman coach Justin Herbert and Lamar Jackson. You know what? It triggered something in me. Colin Kaepernick is one special football player, because that was his offensive coordinator.
Right.
And that man,
Jim Harbaugh was the head coach.
Yeah, and look what happened to Justin Herbert. He stunk it up. He stunk. And Colin Kaepernick dragged them to multiple NFC Championship games and a Super Bowl appearance.
Well, a couple things.
Shout out to Colin Kaepernick.
Well, the whole offensive line was hurt. They've been trying to piecimeal that thing together all season long. That really hurt them. So I
Rashawn Slater.
Well. And Colin Kaepernick was a better athlete, much better athlete than Justin Herbert. Yeah, Hey, thanks for the super chat. JR says, I'm about 85% sure EDC will cook. You know what? Yes, I believe he says Steve made it clear he's next if he doesn't get it right.
Facts.
Trenches, wide receiver 1, pass rush. If we can't land a wide receiver 1, bring Likely back and sign Kyle Pitts. Trademark.
You want 3 tight ends?
Rosalind Fast and
Rosalind
Fast and Marlowe.
Rosalind Fast. Hey Jay, we're not doing this today. You better leave Rosalind alone.
Oh, good, man. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I do agree. I feel like you're going to see something different from EDC this year because, yes, EDC likes to have a lot of picks. He even said it that, he believes in building through the draft. Yeah, okay, fine. But he got a pass this time around because more of the onus was put on John Harbaugh for not developing the talent, right? That's a direct quote from Steve Bisciotti when EDC was trying to do everybody has a part to, has a piece of blame in this whole thing, and he was like, no, the coaches, players were expected to make the next step and they didn't, especially in the trenches, and that's on coaching. So right now he's putting it on coaching. The next time around he's going to put it on you, right? So there's not going to be any more late, and I've been saying this. They've been lazy. EDC's been lazy. Harbaugh been lazy because Lamar's there. There's not going to be any lazy picking this time around. There's not going to be any, hey, T. Martin, what do you want in this round?
Right.
No. Hey, step to the side here. I need to look here. And he did take blame for scouting. The scouting needs to be better. So I think, yes, this time around I bet you he hits a lot better, especially on the early picks. And I bet you he packages those picks. I bet he looks at them and say, all right, I'm going to get judged on these. Right. I'm going to get judged on these. Maybe I don't need 11 picks this year.
I'll take 7.
Let me trade up. Yeah, I'll take 5 and let me hit on 3 of them.
Facts, something like that. But it was the telling stat. It was telling to me because when it first started, and Bisciotti was talking, when that man said, we got a top 3 GM in the league. Who comes on and says you got a top 3? Most people gonna say I got the best GM in the league, and that let me know that Bisciotti was thinking like, you cool, but you ain't the best. You better improve on this situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
that's what I took from it.
And like you said, this season, I'll put it on the coaches. Since John's gone, we'll make him a scapegoat. It was him that you didn't develop. But if I bring in a different regime of coaches and you don't develop these players, now I'm going to look at you for picking the wrong players. So guess what? The seat is real hot. You better make do with what you got and make this your best one. And I think with them not being able to be lazy, as we say, now you don't have the opportunity to experiment with these draft picks. We're no longer going to go for projects, guys, that we think maybe can be good. We're no longer going to start drafting safeties in the first round. We're going to prioritize the trenches, and we're going to see a new Art Casa this season, hopefully. If not, get them out of here and bring in somebody else that can do the job.
Yeah, man. You listen here, Bronson Kafusi. No more. All right?
Don't do that, bro.
It's never happening again.
Campbell Correa, don't
said scouting don't matter when Harbs is picking good guys. Yeah.
But
that's the problem.
Man, some criminals, man. Some criminals.
We need some. But sometimes scouting does matter. But after spending so much time with the head coach, you know what he's looking for. So you're scouting players to his taste instead of scouting players for the organization. So now that we are going to have a different guy, maybe we get some different scouts. Now they can really do their jobs and look for these physically talented guys. Because I'm sure they came up to them and said, yo, this kid Pickens, you need to get him. And they was like, nah. So they was like, oh, what are we even looking for these guys for? Why would we go? Why would we scout for guys that we know will make the team better when you go
create a profile?
We know that's the case, right? We know that's the case because the Ravens, the Ravens have done a good job of spreading that propaganda to the fan base and to the point to where a lot of us think that way, right? When I mentioned George Pickens, some people are like, oh no, I don't like his attitude.
Right.
Well, what about his play? Right, I don't care about his attitude. Like, I want the guy that can play. Like some of y'all like AJ Brown. AJ Brown will be a problem too when he don't get the ball. When I say a problem, it's not a problem, as Philly shows you. Like, as much trouble that he causes in Philly, I don't hear anything out there about them wanting to trade him, or they're just like, okay, yeah, we blew up on the sideline, so you know what I'm saying? Like that's not a problem. But like anybody with a little bit of an attitude, we think we can't handle it here, and that's because of Harbaugh, because Harbaugh can't handle it. Tanja, what is going on?
Good morning.
Good morning, fellas. I made a live. Hey, salute to you, Tanja. Good morning. Glad to see you.
Bro, not every wide receiver is Larry Fitzgerald. Okay?
Right.
None of them are. Larry Fitzgerald is a really nice man. He didn't complain. He didn't complain at all in Arizona. He had those great years with Kurt Warner. Then he was given John Skelton for 4 more years, and you didn't hear a peep out of Larry Fitzgerald. I don't care. Like, but he's a unicorn.
Yeah.
Any other receivers, like, what the hell is a Ryan Lindley? All right, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? What are we doing here? Okay, but Larry didn't complain. You want wide receivers who want the ball. They want to make a play. Like people love Devonta Smith for a reason because he says nothing. But okay, that's cool. But he also made, I want to play there.
Man. And he could be the number 2. You could I would love Zay Flowers a lot more if he was number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Everybody likes Zay Flowers. Like we know he's got skills. You just also recognize that he can't be a true number 1. Right? And you had true number 1 in there. Zay Flowers would be great. You know? And we be talking about Zay Flowers like, oh, really? Really, he could be a number 1 on any other team. Like we say stuff like that, right?
but just imagine his 80 catches to 1,200 yards with a dominant number 1 on the other side that they double.
Yeah,
somebody that's reliable, and they don't have to keep focusing on Zay. Imagine what his numbers will be then. And that's not to discredit or take anything away from Zay Flowers. He is an amazing talent, and he does what he has to do for the Baltimore Ravens. But if we want to win a Super Bowl and go further than we need that guy that demands the ball. And I hate to say it, we need that asshole that pouts when he don't get the ball. I want the guy that's mad because he knows that he can make a play and change the game. I don't want the guy that says, well, maybe we'll get it next time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Or Rashad Bateman, who just doesn't show up at all. My friend Damien in the house, what's going on? Good morning. This is a great conversation. Good stuff, fellas. Thank you, man.
You think Randy Moss didn't rub certain people a certain way in Minnesota? You know what I mean? Yeah. And like in Oakland, he definitely didn't like being in Oakland. You know what I mean? Like but exactly. But it's Randy Moss. It's like, give me the ball.
Yeah.
Give me the ball.
And we got a super chat. Is that RTB Dre?
RTB Dre.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for super chat. Says, after what we heard yesterday, what's y'all thoughts? Well, we had a lot of thoughts here, Dre. We had a lot of thoughts yesterday. We had a lot of thoughts on the roundup. We had a lot of thoughts this morning.
Have a lot of thoughts tonight.
We're coming close to the end of this stream, my friend.
Main thought is, Dre, we'll summarize it for you. Your GM's on the chopping block. If he doesn't fix this, if he does not almost hit it out of the park in this free agency, in this draft, he's gone. He's gone.
Yeah.
And he needs to also pick the right coach. Because here's the thing too, people keep talking about his drafts and his free agency. You still got to find a coach.
Yes.
If he picks the wrong coach, he's for sure gone.
Well, he's not picking the coach. He's giving input on the coach.
That's true. That's a good point. Well, Lamar, Steve Bisciotti, another good tidbit of the press conference. He said he's been calling Lamar anytime they talk to a coach. He's been calling Lamar, and then he's told Lamar, "Hey, if you when it's time for the finalists, I'm gonna send you my jet, and you get your butt on that plane and come back up to Baltimore, and then we'll pick." You know what I mean? That's what Steve Bisciotti said. So Lamar is heavily involved in the process. So this is going to be the guy Lamar wants and likes. Right. So at the end of the day,
I want to give a shout out to Sutton from Purple Rain Podcast, because when we were doing the Ravens roundup yesterday, he brought something up, because what Bisciotti said, what he's looking for in a coach was former candidates, hot candidates that maybe quite didn't work out with the team, and he's like, I don't necessarily count that as a knock against them if they were in a bad situation, right? If you're a hot candidate and you went to a situation where you didn't have a quarterback, or it just wasn't ideal, and you weren't successful, that doesn't necessarily disqualify you, right? And he brought that up because they had just finished interviewing this gentleman right here, Brian Flores. Right?
He did.
So Sutton he's thinking there could be a little recency bias there, where Brian Flores was fresh on their mind, and maybe that interview went really well. Maybe they really like Flores, and they're thinking, hey, this might be our guy. I don't really care what happened in Miami. I don't really care about this lawsuit. We didn't do him wrong. It was these guys over here, but
it's true. It is. It was
the Giants.
Okay, I'm not gonna say us. I'm not saying us. Them.
Them.
I'm not saying them. Them, not me. Them. I wanted Brian. I actually wanted Brian.
I know you did.
I wanted Brian Flores. I really wanted him badly. You know what I mean? Because I wanted because the Giants defense needed fixing, and he would have, we'd have fixed it, man. Giants, our identity was play defense, run the ball, and it never happened ever again.
Yeah. Tanya, did I say that right? Tanya. Tez needs to work on blocking, but that will come if they give him a chance. I think he needs more reps.
Yeah. Oh, he definitely is going to be. He's going to be something.
Yeah. Oh, I missed a super chat. My bad. Right? My apologies.
Nah, bro, we just mess with you.
It's 250 people in here now. My bad. This is my apologies. Being at the gym this morning.
We just picking, bro. We know it's all good.
Hey, he's hyped up. He's hyped up.
Yes.
God's favorite says Belichick went 28-39 after Brady left, but we saw what he did with a talent at QB. Right. I think there's a chance. Well, yes. And also, all the other players that got older and retired or moved on left too, right? Belichick was in that rebuilding phase and he was older, and they're like, we need to get younger now, right? Your time has come. I think if Belichick was in his 50s or 40s, they just say, hey, we just run it back. But he's older now, and he acquired too much power. And they're like, nah, we gotta do a reset here. We gotta do a reset. There's a lot of things that factored in other than just they were losing.
There was also another factor that is very prominent nowadays.
What? What is it? Spit it out.
His partner, his girlfriend.
I don't think they were a thing when he was in New England.
I think last year they were a thing. His last year there, and then
I don't know. Hey, what's that? How I'm saying this? Pad G70. Pad G70.
Pad G70.
Okay, Pad G70. If that's wrong, correct us. Thank you for being a member. Thank you for being a channel member. Really appreciate you guys. Also, there's that pin link in the chat box to our Patreon. Well, my Patreon on my channel, patreon.com/LBHT show. If you're in my chat, that's another way to become a member. But either way, it's going to get you access to the overtime show. And I'm so glad that you signed up, because we have an overtime show tonight. We're going to have some special guests on there, and we're going to be discussing this interaction between Richard Jefferson and Kendrick Perkins. You know what? Let me see if I have a bookmark. I might give you guys a little preview of what we're going to be discussing tonight, if I have it. I don't. Never mind. Oh, no, I do. I lied. You guys are going to get a little treat here.
Nice.
All right. This is going to be a preview of what we're discussing on the overtime show. LBHT show starts at 7:45 p.m. Eastern time, and you don't want to miss that. Okay, we're going to discuss more of the press conference with Steve Bisciotti, Mike Tomlin. We're going to discuss some offseason stuff for the Panthers, and then mock draft time. But not just any type of mock draft. This is going to be a well-produced mock draft. All right. This isn't going to be we just go to
right,
Draft Network or whatever. Okay. This is going to be presented really well, and we're going to do some end of season awards. There's a lot going on the main show, and then the overtime show. We're going to be. Let me take this down because there we go. We're going to be discussing this. So. I'll play a little bit of this. Let me know if you can hear it.
14-year-old kid. 14-year-old kids.
You might be in high school.
You're part of the reason why American basketball is shit. Yes, you are.
I'm developing a fucking killer mentality. That's what I'm developing.
Okay.
Well, their frontal lobe hasn't been developed just yet.
What am I? I'm sitting up because I'm telling you. If kids are up by 30, the goal is to learn how to play basketball, not to treat these kids like that.
See this right here? See this? He's the problem.
I'm the problem.
This is why
say that to USA Basketball.
This is why
say that to USA Basketball.
This is why the league is fucking soft.
I'm not talking about the league. I'm not talking. I'm talking about basketball.
This is why American players are soft. You're gonna learn that when you go to certain tournaments, circuit play tournaments, you're going there to play the smoke. They go by points. So it ain't no fucking mercy rule.
Y'all can win by 30. Y'all can win by 40. That's cute. That's adorable. That is not the best way to teach and train basketball. We sit here and ask, why are there no American MVPs? Why do we look at what's going on? So if that's what you're teaching, and then we see a progression of shitty American basketball
Isn't there
players,
an overall concept, though, that there's not a lot of teaching going on in a
there's not teaching going on.
Allie, so you're telling me if you're running 2 14-minute halves running clock, right? And you at halftime, you're up 30. You're going to tell your team, and you've been in man-to-man the whole time, you're going to tell your team to back off?
I'm going to tell my team not to fucking press. Yes,
we didn't press. We didn't say.
All right, that's just a little preview there. A little preview. Sorry for the language. I should give a little warning. But,
yeah. Come on, man. What's up with that?
Excuse me, Ferris.
Hey, yo. We got 2 more super chats.
We got another super chat. Hey, appreciate that. A Light says EDC and Howie Roseman are supposed to be friends. Why doesn't he take some notes from him in how to put a solid team together? We have whiffed on so many second, third, and fourth round picks that it's unreal. I know they're lying. I know EDC lies when he said they're friends, but you know how I know? Because especially in the NFL and other major sports, friends deal with friends. If they were friends, you see more trades between us and the Eagles. They ain't friends, man. That's a lie. Dre says Brian Flores. Thank you for super chat. He says Brian Flores would bring discipline and structure,
facts, and integrity.
Yeah, and in a win mentality, they want to win
now.
Yeah, man. He went 10-6, 9-8 these last 2 years.
And that's another thing that and we gotta get out of here. That's another thing that Steve Bisciotti said. He's giving the next coach about 5 or 6 years. He said it kind of jokingly. I think he really means like you may hit the ground running.
Facts.
With this now he did say, hey, if we feel good about the coach, like yes, it's not win now or else. To bring give him some time to right the ship. But they are looking at this coach like we need to win a Super Bowl, not like we already have a winning team.
Right.
We need to win a Super Bowl, and you do have a window. I think knowing that he had a blind spot for John Harbaugh because they were friends, and he knew he let some things get lax. He's not going to let that same thing happen moving forward. He's going to set a standard. There's going to be expectations, and you're going to see the benefits of that take place on the field.
You're right.
All right. We are getting out of here.
Have a super chat.
See, they like keeping us here. Hey, appreciate you, Bazel. Says Perk soft. He cried when he got traded to OKC. I don't like this tough talk from Perkins, but we're gonna talk about that on the overtime show. I don't like this tough talk at all. But that is what we're gonna be discussing. American basketball, how is coached today to the youth.
Yep.
And we're gonna have some coaches on the overtime show to discuss that, including myself. I am currently coaching my son's basketball team,
Coach Jose.
I'm supposed to be assistant coach. I'm doing more head coaching stuff. I'm not a big fan of that, but Itanya says I know a lot of high school basketball coaches, and the kids are not the same anymore. They are not serious about basketball. Videos has changed the kids. Hey, we're
gonna get into that.
Listen. Patreon.com/LBHT show. All right. That's how you can join that discussion. We're going to talk about all of that.
I got some thoughts.
We're going to have some current high school basketball coaches on the show to give their perspective on things as well. So sign up. It's only $5 for the month. If you want to pay just for that particular episode, it's only $3, but you get more bang for your buck for the $5.
Thanks.
All right. Or sign up to be a channel member. That you can do that, and you get access to the overtime show as well. All right. And good morning, Gary. We are getting out of here, but I'm saying good morning to you. Says interior offensive lineman. What is the Ravens
is what the Ravens need.
Is what the Ravens need. Yep. And they can fix that in free agency because all of the Browns starting linemen are free agents. All of them.
All of them. Back up.
Seriously?
Yes.
Not a single. They didn't keep a single person.
I think one is under contract. It's 4 starting linemen and one rotational
player.
Wow, that is crazy.
But the thing was, most of them got injured last season, so they had to bring in other guys. So they already know what it's like not to have them. So yeah, we can listen. Joe Bertoni.
I remember when there was a conversation that Jedrick Wills was better than Andrew Thomas, but look at who's unemployed and who is a cornerstone.
Listen, take that up with Harbaugh.
Yeah.
And more hop.
Yeah. Wow.
All right, y'all. We getting out of here.
Exactly.
Y'all have a great day.
Hey, one last thing.
Yes.
Atlanta's interviewed John Harbaugh. The Giants haven't. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, and how many times have we seen a draft where people have said, "I didn't even interview with that team"? What a surprise! First, you already know first.
I'm just saying.
First, you know first.
I'm just saying. We haven't interviewed him.
I also heard that they're prepared to make him an offer.
That is also true. I also heard that as well.
And he's been studying Jackson Dart.
Yes, he has.
Good
luck
with Zachary Orr.
And you know they don't care about satisfying the Rooney Rule.
Facts.
They don't. They don't. They do not. They love trudging out their token black guys. They be like, oh, I love Tiki Barber. I love Ronnie Barnes. They love but do you know?
All right, y'all. We getting out of here. Y'all have a great day. Peace.
Later.